Hello everyone, welcome to the US Immigration Hub. What if I told you that the green card you work so hard to earn, the one representing years of sacrifice, patience, and dreams, could be taken away in a moment you never saw coming? Even if you followed every rule, paid every tax, and built your entire life in America, there are 5 silent but deadly mistakes that could cost you everything. The truth is, most people don't even realize they're making these mistakes until their entire future is hanging by a thread. Stay with me because what you learn today could literally be the difference between keeping your American dream alive or losing it all in weeks. Welcome back to your US Immigration Hub, and before we jump in, make sure you hit subscribe, like and share so you never miss any life-changing immigration updates that could protect you and your family. Today's video is one of the most important I've ever made. We're talking directly to green card holders, visa holders, and legal immigrants who believe they're doing everything right, but are unknowingly standing inches away from a legal disaster. The immigration system today is not the immigration system from 5 or 10 years ago. The laws are stricter, enforcement is faster, and the consequences are harsher than ever before. What once might have been overlooked or forgiven can now lead to immediate detention and deportation with almost no chance to fight back. I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to empower you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what actions put your legal status at risk and what you can do right now to protect yourself and your family. Let's get into the first threat, and trust me, this one destroys more green cards than almost anything else. Criminal convictions and the immigration category called aggravated felonies. Now, here's the scary part. An aggravated felony under immigration law is not the same as a felony in your state. You could be charged with a misdemeanor, pay a small fine, never see a day in jail, and think the whole issue is behind you. But under federal immigration law, that same misdemeanor can be treated as a serious aggravated felony. This can include theft, no matter how small the amount, fraud, even if it seems minor, assault, even if no one was injured, and almost any type of violent or threatening behavior. Immigration authorities don't care how the local court labeled it, they care only about how federal law defines it. And once your record includes something classified as an aggravated felony, your chances of staying in the United States drop to almost zero. Imagine, living in the United States for 15 years, you own a home, your kids were born here, and you have a stable job. Then one night, you get into a heated argument or maybe just make a small mistake. The prosecutor offers you a deal, plead guilty to a misdemeanor, pay a fine, and walk away. Wanting to move on, you accept the deal. Months or even years later, you apply to renew your green card, or you travel overseas and try to come back. Suddenly, immigration flags your file and declares that minor misdemeanor an aggravated felony. Just like that, you're placed in deportation proceedings with almost no defenses available. This is why, if you are ever arrested or charged for anything, you really need 2 lawyers, a criminal attorney and an immigration attorney. They must work together before you make any decisions, because a harmless plea bargain in criminal court can be a life-destroying disaster in immigration court. The second threat is drug charges, and honestly, immigration law shows almost zero mercy in this area. Many people believe that small drug possession, especially tiny amounts, won't affect their status, but this assumption is dangerously wrong. A drug possession charge, even for a single pill, a trace amount of powder, or residue in a bag, can lead to immediate deportation. We're talking cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, meth, prescription pills that weren't prescribed to you. It doesn't matter how much or how little. Under immigration law, possession of almost any controlled substance is grounds for removal. There is only one narrow exception: possession of less than 30 grams of marijuana, and only if it's your first offense. But even then, different courts handle this differently, and here's a massive trap. Even if the charges are dismissed through a diversion program, treatment program, or court deal, any admission during the process can still be used by immigration authorities to deport you. You could have no conviction on your criminal record, but your own words could still destroy your immigration status. The third threat involves domestic disputes and family-related violence, and this is one of the fastest ways legal immigrants lose their status. Most people don't realize how broad immigration law is when it comes to domestic violence. It applies not only to your spouse, but also your ex-spouse, partner, parents, in-laws, children, stepchildren, and even people who simply live with you. And the behavior doesn't even need to be violent. A grab, a shove, raising your voice, making a threat, or violating a restraining order, even accidentally, can get you charged with domestic violence. State courts often treat these cases as minor misdemeanors with small penalties, but immigration law treats them as extremely serious offenses. One misdemeanor domestic violence conviction can make you deportable even if it happened years ago, even if you made peace, even if the relationship ended. You know, immigration judges just don't have the same discretion as criminal judges. It's a pretty big difference that can really affect the outcome of a case. And once that conviction is on your record, your future here in the United States becomes, well, incredibly fragile. That's exactly why you must speak with an immigration lawyer before agreeing to any plea deal in a domestic case. You know, there are sometimes safer plea options, but honestly, you will never know unless you get proper immigration advice. The fourth threat is immigration fraud and, well, this one can haunt you even 20 or 30 years later. Immigration fraud includes things like lying or leaving out information on forms, giving incorrect dates, using false documents, misrepresenting relationships, or, obtaining status through a fraudulent marriage. Even simple mistakes you didn't think were important can actually be treated as fraud under federal law. And honestly, the most dangerous part is that there is no statute of limitations on immigration fraud. Immigration can reopen your case at any time, even decades later. If they find fraud in your past applications, they can revoke your green card and start deportation proceedings immediately. Marriage-based cases, employment-based cases, asylum filings, family petitions, everything can be re-examined years later. Even a small misrepresentation can become a life-changing problem. If you believe you made mistakes in past filings or left something out, don't wait. Talk to an immigration attorney now. Fixing it early could save your status. The fifth threat is simple but surprisingly dangerous: failing to update your address. Green card holders must update their address with immigration authorities within 10 days of moving. While this alone won't get you deported, it can be used against you if you ever face immigration trouble. It makes you look non-compliant, irresponsible, or dishonest. And in immigration court, your credibility matters more than you think. Updating your address online takes minutes, but failing to do it can cause problems later. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Deportation cases today move faster than ever before. Hearings are shorter, judges have less time. Cases that once took years can now be completed in just weeks. This means, honestly, your margin for error is extremely small. By the time you're in immigration court, your options may already be, well, pretty limited. So, here's what you need to do to protect yourself. If you ever face legal trouble, consult an immigration attorney immediately before accepting any plea. So, be completely honest on every immigration form. You need to update your address within 10 days every time you move. Make sure to keep records of your life in the United States, things like taxes, leases, job history, and community involvement. So, stay informed about immigration policy changes because, honestly, they shift constantly. And if there's anything questionable in your past applications, you really should get legal guidance now before it becomes a major issue later. Your legal status is not just a card, it's your family's future, your years of sacrifice, your dreams, and, well, everything you've built here. It deserves protection, effort, and careful attention. And remember, knowledge is your greatest shield. The more you know, the safer you are. If this video helped you understand how to protect your immigration status, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more families can get this life-changing information. Your support helps us bring you the most accurate and important immigration updates. Stay informed, stay safe, and stay proactive. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next